We are through practice 14 of 25. Our football team has been working extremely hard. We're going to give them a couple days off here in the middle. We'll get back after it on Tuesday. It's a much needed break and opportunity to rest and recover. We've really gotten after it this week, physical practice today here with the scrimmage. To kind of turn it into a half scrimmage, half thud, just to try to make sure we kept guys healthy. We kept a number of players out that we know can play. Guys that may have been a little bumped and bruised and have some nicks from previous practices. Main objective today was to get out of this thing healthy, which we did, and ready to continue to move forward. And we're really looking forward to turning the page and getting ready for Texas State. That's coming up really soon. It's amazing. We're 2 weeks away from the game. So middle of the week, this next week, we'll turn our attention to Texas State and start Texas State preparations. But go ahead and open up for questions.
Is it a two-man race right now? I mean, it looked like Sikorsky and Gio handled most of the first.
They got most of the reps today. Jonathan Lewis got some reps today. We'll sit down, and it's kind of been the plan to get to this point. We'll sit down here after this scrimmage, have some conversations, and see where we're at. Again, like I've stated all the way from the beginning, there's no set date to say this guy or that guy is our starting quarterback. We'll do it when we're comfortable with it. We feel like somebody's been consistent and is really taking the ownership of the football team. But we got to have some serious conversations. We got to do it fairly soon. We're not going to wait till actual game week to do it, but we're not going to do it today, James. So
just check it.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate it. I figured that. I mean, you're kind of like sharks with blood in the water, man. You just attack. So it's all good.
What did you see out of the quarterbacks today?
Goods and bads, ups and downs. A lot of it has to do with the O-line that they're playing with. Our left side. If I'm not mistaken, of the four guys in the two deep at left tackle and left guard that we started with here in training camp, we held 3 of them out today. So our left side, especially with the second group, is a little shaky. So it's tough to get a true evaluation on a quarterback if the protection's not exactly what it needs to be. So I think we might have even talked about that the last time we were together, about what the expectations would be for this scrimmage and what type of evaluation it would be for the quarterback. And again, it's not just the quarterback, it's the pieces around him that have to be performing and be all out there. And again, today, for different reasons, we kept some guys out.
Even without a set date, would you like to see whoever it is work a certain number of days or practices with the ones leading up to Texas State?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's not a set number of days, but the sooner you can do it, the better. Just so there's no gray area with the whole football team and more specifically the offense. We're getting closer and closer to doing something again. Like I said, we'll have some good conversations. The goal after this scrimmage for all positions, not just a quarterback, but to have a pretty crystal clear idea of what our two deep is going to look like for at least game one. I would say most positions we know what that's going to look like, not all yet. And again, that's why we practice, that's why we'll meet, and we'll try to have those conversations and get that settled relatively quickly.
I know it was a team vote, but what went into the process of having 6 captains as opposed to 4 in last year? Is it just the way the vote went?
It's just the way the vote went. I mean, I think I've mentioned it before. I think we've got an outstanding senior class. It's not high in numbers, but it's really high in quality. It's high in leadership. When you look at the votes, we had 2 young men, Gio and Deontay Roberts, that were by far and away the leading vote getters. Everybody else was relatively close, and they were clearly ahead of everybody else. So again, there's no set number, in my opinion, of 4, 6, 8, whatever. Every year's different. Every senior class is different, and it's not even all seniors. Jonah Jackson is the captain, so your leadership is different from year to year, and I think we've worked extremely hard this offseason in trying to develop leadership, develop player-to-player accountability, and I'm very happy and excited about the 6 individuals that were picked to be our captains of our football team, and they've done a great job, and hopefully will continue to do that.
We talked about before you want a quarterback to rally, you want your team to rally around the quarterback.
Yeah.
Did we make anything out of Gio being one of the captains? The fact that, like you said, they picked him, they consider him a leader?
He has done a great job of leading his football team. It's a guy that's played the last 2 years. It may not have played every game the last 2 years, but he's played the last 2 years. He's got a lot of experience. He's really matured. He's seen a lot of things during his time here. This offseason, he's really done an outstanding job of leading his football team. Does that mean he's going to be the starting quarterback? No, that doesn't mean it. It means that the players really, truly respect him. You don't have to have all your captains be starters, and that's just the way it is. And we don't want our captains to be the only leaders of our football team either. If we only got 6 leaders, we probably got a problem. We got a lot of other guys that were, in my opinion, worthy of, captainship or leadership titles also. And again, they may be backups, they may be special teams players, they may be starters.
You said earlier this summer that Pacheco was the 4th running back on the depth chart. Has he made any big jump? I mean, it seems like every time we see him, he's doing something impressive.
He is doing something.
Yeah.
Again, right now today, I'm not in a position to discuss the too deep yet. Again, we'll meet and we'll have all those discussions and we'll get it finalized. He is an individual that's going to play for us. Again, how many snaps at running back versus special teams, that's yet to be determined. But he is a young man that continues to get better all the time. When you guys are out here, we've specifically set up the drills for him to look good. Kidding. But he's done a great job. Absolutely. Love the kid. He goes really hard. Loves football. And I mentioned it before. The guy only knows one speed, and that's full speed. He's still learning the offense. He's got a long way to go from that standpoint, but there are packages that he knows. Is very confident in his assignments, and just keeps getting better every single day.
Were you encouraged by some of the big plays that were hit today?
I absolutely was, because we haven't necessarily had those throughout the course of training camp. It's a little concerning, to be honest with you. But today, our ability to protect, to throw, and catch was better, especially in the last few days. So we need that. You guys have watched Rutgers offense over the last couple of years, and you know that's something that's been missing. If you want to score points, you're going to have to hit the big play, and that's both in the run game and the pass game. And today, in the spring game last spring, you saw that a little bit. We've had some days like that here in training camp, but today was one of them, and we've got to build on that and hopefully get some of those to show up on game day.
Any other questions? Obviously, Monmouth game. How did that kind of come about on your end, and your thoughts about playing them a couple of years?
It's a couple years out. When you talk about scheduling, there's a lot that goes into scheduling. The Big Ten's got certain scheduling parameters. They've kind of backed off what their scheduling philosophy was a couple of years ago because of the playoff system. What the playoff system originally had talked about being a major focus of who's going to make the playoffs was strength of schedule. As we've seen, that really does not play into it. The Big Ten made some decisions a few years ago to try to strengthen the schedule of the teams. It was the only conference to do that, and they're looking at different ways to change that. There are a lot of challenges when it comes to scheduling non-conference games. If you look around the country, the amount of money that's being spent on non-conference games keeps growing. You guys know we're not a fully funded Big Ten school at this moment. We don't have the money that a lot of other people do to pay for non-conference games. Overall, philosophically, we made a decision that we wanted to schedule more regional games for our fans to be able to come to home games as well as road games. Obviously cuts down on cost also when you do that for traveling expenses. It's a regional game. They've done a nice job in that program. We got the waiver from the Big Ten to be able to schedule FCS opponents, and other teams will be doing that also at some point, and it just made sense.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.